Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 ways by which you can keep yourself motivated and be productive during the lockdown. Now I know, as a student, we have been impacted a lot by the lockdown, by COVID and a lot of other things. And staying motivated and being productive is hard. Even I don't do that. But here are a few lessons that I learned, and here are a few things through which I've been trying to not get existential crisis too many times. So here are a few things that I learned. By the way, in terms of academics, I haven't attended a single class in the last 2 months. So the last time I attended class at BITS was, 2 months back. That's in April or March sometime. And after that, I just did not attend classes because I had zero motivation to attend classes. It was just so boring. You can't talk to your friends. Even the teacher is bored. Even the teacher doesn't like teaching during such times. So, and then plus COVID hit. So the second wave was really bad. And then our college gave us an option. They were like, final exam dena hai to do, nahi to mat do. And as a normal student who's not a topper, I took the option of not giving my final exams. So right now I'm just at home making videos, building communities and chatting on WhatsApp. Yeah, that's what I pretty much do all day. But yeah, right now I'm not giving my final exams, just sitting at home and trying to keep myself productive, trying to keep myself motivated so that I don't waste time. Because lockdown is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Every crisis brings in some sort of opportunity, right? It's like this time where you sort of can do pretty much anything that you wanted to do all your life. Like I always wanted to build products. I always wanted to make videos. I always wanted to start a Discord server. Wasn't able to do it back in college because time hi nahi tha. But now I have too much of time, so I can do all of these things. So remember, if you ever wanted to do anything that for which you weren't able to allocate time earlier, now is the right time. So go ahead and start doing that. Alright, now back to the topic of the video. Alright, so the number one thing that I want to talk about is planning and organizing. Right? Now, by organizing, I mean there are just these two tools that you can use to plan your day out really properly and keep yourself busy so that you don't have too much free time and you stay productive. Now, the first way of planning out your day is just use Google Calendar. Whatever you want to do throughout the day, maybe it's a task, maybe it's a goal, maybe it's just an appointment with a friend, maybe it's a meeting with a client, whatever it is, maybe it's a lecture, whatever it is, just go on your Google Calendar and put it in. This is how my Google Calendar looks like. I pretty much put in every single thing that I do onto my Google Calendar. Helps me stay really busy. And the more busy you are, the better it is, right? Because that way you would never have time to think randomly. You would never get negative thoughts too much, and you would rarely face existential crisis. Because पहले जब मेरे पास बहुत सारा time था, I used to face a lot of existential crisis times where I was like, what am I doing in life? What's the purpose of life? And things like that. So just keep yourself busy. It just sorts out a lot of things. Second thing is use Calendly. Calendly. The thing is, whenever you want to set up a meeting with someone, maybe it's to catch up with your friend, maybe it's to set up a meeting with your client, maybe it's, just for pretty much anything, just send your Calendly link and they can click on it, book a time with you, and then you can have the meeting. पहले क्या होता है, I'll be like, मैं दोस्त को बोलूँगा 7 बजे मिलते हैं, दोस्त बोलेगा ठीक है 6:30 को मिलते हैं, फिर I'll be like ठीक है 6:30 को मिलते हैं, फिर they'll clash होते रहता है, it's too much of back and forth. Instead, just send the Calendly link, they can book a slot with you, and it just sorts so many things out. So use these two tools, Google Calendar and Calendly, properly. You can pretty much plan out your day very efficiently using these things. The second thing is to take small steps. Now, if I want to become a full stack web developer, I cannot become a full stack web developer tomorrow. It takes effort. It takes small steps which gradually compound and then, give you the result. So if, you want to study better, then instead of just being like, अच्छा आज मैं 8 घंटे बैठ के पढ़ूंगा, आज 1 घंटा पढ़ लो, tomorrow do it 2, then make it 3, increase it gradually. That way you would not feel burnt out, exhausted feeling नहीं होगा, and it will be much better for your mental health as well. So whenever I want to make extra videos, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, over pressurize myself. Tomorrow I'll थोड़ा सा shoot करूंगा, परसों थोड़ा और shoot करूंगा, and gradually increase my productivity in terms of video, and that's much better. The third point is exercise and meditation. Now, when the lockdown initially started, मैंने एक yoga mat खरीदा था. I used to put the yoga mat. I used to sort of do push-ups. I used to do squats and all of that. अभी वो कुछ नहीं करता हूँ. The only exercise that I do is play cricket with my family in the evenings. So that's all I do. But I think it's super useful. I haven't done meditation and yoga. If you guys do it, then do let me know what your experience has been, and maybe even I can to it. But yeah, who's honking? And then the next one is to believe in yourself. Now I know I'm not some guru, I'm not some spiritual leader who's like believe in yourself. All I'm saying is, these are really, really tough times. Things around you aren't very positive, right? Everyone's facing their own problems and everyone's dealing with their own lives. And even you might ask questions like, what's the purpose of life? Why am I giving JE? Why am I sort of studying to code? Why am I applying for this job? You ask a lot of questions about life, and that's because you have too much time. That's because you're sitting at home alone and then just thinking about all these things. So you would face a lot of these questions. I ask these questions to myself quite a lot of times, but then ultimately, dude, it's fine. Everyone faces these things and it'll be all right. So just hope for a good future. Just let go of all of these things and just keep working. Just keep yourself as busy as possible so that you can avoid these existential crisis questions. Because most of the times, in 2-3 days, you'll find something really good to work on, and then you'll find some sort of purpose later on, right? So do not spend too much time thinking about, oh, what is life, all of those things. Just move on and just keep yourself as busy as possible. The next one is patience, and I think this is super important because a lot of us are Gen Z. We want quick results. Like if we invest in crypto today, we want the results tomorrow, and we're that kind of people, right? But then eventually, as Naval Ravikant says, a lot of the good things in life happen because of compounding. So it's usually those small things that you do every single day that gradually build up and become much, much larger and have a huge impact. It's like investing in mutual funds using SIP, right? Systematic investment planning, where you just put chota sa amount every single month, and then after 30 years you become a crorepati. I'm pretty sure you might have seen these things, right? These calculators wherein you put chota amounts every single month, maybe 10 rupees every single day, and it just compounds into quite a lot of money, maybe a couple of crores in the next few years. It's all the same. So it's all about the compounding effect. So for example, you want to become a freelancer. Do not be like, oh, so आज मैं skill सीखूंगा, कल client मिलेगा, परसों मैं पैसे कमाऊंगा. That might not really happen. So you might have to be patient and very persistent. So follow that. That's also something that I learned. I'm very impatient, but now I'm trying to have a bit of patience. The third one is reward yourself and celebrate small wins. Nothing big has to happen to celebrate. Maybe you got a little more marks than your previous semester. Maybe you got your first client. Maybe you got paid for the very first time. Maybe you learned a skill that you always wanted to learn. Maybe you found a really good friend that you always wanted to meet. It could be really small things, but just sort of celebrate. Be happy about it. Tell your friends about it. It's totally fine, right? So because, there are just so many things to worry about right now that these small things matter. So in my case, Clinify recently got into a startup incubator. We've always wanted to work with Clinify. We've always wanted to build Clinify. And the fact that it got into a startup incubator was a big deal for us. Maybe it's not a big deal for others, but it was a huge win for us. So yeah, celebrate these wins and do cool stuff. We've been rejected by a lot of startup incubators in the past, but getting into this one incubator after 10 rejections was a huge deal for us, and we celebrated it. So, start celebrating these small wins. It really helps you stay motivated and be happy. And another thing to keep in mind is chill out. Okay, I know I'm talking about productivity, motivation, वगैरह, but then chill out, man. Watch your favorite series, it's totally fine. Listen to good music, it's totally fine. Watch your favorite YouTube channels, it's totally fine. Right? Everyone's a human being, and you need to sort of have these pleasures, right? So that you have a good life. But then one way of rewarding yourself is using these TV series. So what I do is every time I have a really good day, every time I have a day wherein I have multiple meetings, I've maybe hired a bunch of people, I've maybe have had a lot of meetings with the tech team where I'm sort of helping them with the product. Well, if I've had a bunch of meetings with students, if I've organized a bunch of events, if I've made a video, if I feel I've really utilized my day properly, then what I do is at the end of the day, I watch my favorite TV series, which is Silicon Valley, and it just makes me happy. So it just makes me feel ki, okay, pura din tune kaam kiya, this is your reward. And I think having that reward system actually helps you stay motivated. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, today I'm going to be productive so that at the end of the day I can watch Silicon Valley. And if at the end of the day I'm like, okay, aaj maine zyada kaam nahi kiya, aaj main bas so raha tha, I was just taking too many afternoon naps, then I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to reward myself, I'll not watch Silicon Valley today. So yeah, try doing something similar, try rewarding yourself, and use all of these pleasures as a way of rewarding yourself and as a way of, staying productive. The next one is don't distract yourself. You have your notifications on, you have YouTube videos showing up, you have Instagram videos showing up, you have Reels, you have a bunch of distractions to take care of, right? But just turn off all notifications. First of all, check WhatsApp only when it's necessary, check Discord only when it's necessary. I know I shouldn't be saying that because my entire Clinify runs on Discord, but then do only things that actually provide you value, right? So especially on Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook, try using it only when it's necessary, and keep notifications on. I think a lot of my friends get so distracted when they see one notification of someone liking the picture. Like how big of a difference does it make to see who liked your picture? It just doesn't make any difference. So don't get so distracted. The problem is that these notifications will have an impact on your context switching. So what I mean by that is, agar aap padhai kar rahe ho and suddenly you have a notification, you have to switch context, your attention goes there, and then your padhai wala attention just goes away. So don't do that. Don't do too much of context switching. Ek cheez kar rahe ho to ek hi cheez karte raho. Don't try multitasking with so many things at once. And finally, don't underestimate yourself. Everyone is running their own race on their own field. So if your friend is doing something very great, if he's sort of कोई फोड़ रहा है एग्जाम, या फिर फोड़ रहा है कोई स्किल, या फिर फोड़ रहा है in some or the other things, maybe he's getting a great job, don't underestimate yourself. Everyone has different rates of successes at different times of their life. So just be persistent, do whatever you're doing. Don't just compare. It's good to compare, but don't just keep comparing. Also work on your own life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked the video. If yes, then do join in our community. I'll be coming there often. We can interact. And plus, you have this amazing events happening on our community. I think recently, Clinify MUN is happening, Model United Nations. We have some great guest speakers who are innovators, TEDx speakers, and really, really cool and smart people coming in, so you can learn a lot from them. And you also have folks from Amazon, Microsoft coming in and telling you about a bunch of things over there. So do join in our community. You'll really love it. You'll meet really smart people and also interact with fellow students from across 2,500 different colleges. And I hope you like it, and take care. Bye and stay safe. I know these are hard times, but